That was a volatile day in the markets. We need to look ahead to next week to see what's coming up for us. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and I have an utterly terrible joke for you. If you have a cow that doesn't produce milk, is it a milk dud? So as usual, we're going to look at the SPY and the Qs. I'm going to tell you about the trades that I cashed in on today and how they performed. And then I'm also going to tell you about the free stocks from Moomoo, about the Patreon where you can see my buys and sells over the Discord through there, and my options course that I am currently building out. In the meantime, right into the charts from there. So drop that down and pop that up. We're looking at the SPY, and this magenta line that you see going right across, this is still about that 430 level. We actually came up to 432, and the significance of coming up to 432 is that it was at this previous low that we had over here, and I said that this was going to be a game of retests where we keep on heading back up and seeing where we got rejected. So we're still trying to find out where that is right now. As of right now, it's 432. I still think we have 434 to look forward to. Up above that, and then beyond 434 up to 438 are those next levels. And like I said, that ultimate level of rejection coming in at $442 per share on the SPY. So we're going to have to watch for that. Let me put up the 200-day and the 50-day. Up here is the 50. We're below it. Bearish. We're in this channel. Also bearish. And we are fighting. We closed it down below this 430 number, down even below 428, which was before is where we actually resisted. And so we'll see what comes to us. Cashing in on those options. We have the government shutdown. I believe it was Bart over at my Discord community who was asking me about the government shutdown. So far, the market doesn't seem to be reacting too favorably to it. And so I have to check the progress on that, see what's happening with that, see how much of a catalyst it is for us. And we'll look at the economic reports that are coming up as well. And then I will say, in a little bit, I'll tell you about another one of my community members who also made a very strong, very good contribution. It actually led to one of the profits that I made today, and that was awesome, and I'll give a shout out to him as well. So that's what we got for the SPY. And actually, let's go down to the minute chart, and we'll see what happened. And look at this, all the way up until the close. This was exciting. So opened up high on this, it dropped right down from there, almost a pretty much straight drop that we have happening. And this is an important line that you have in here where you can see those those support levels and then resistance that's over here. And that happens to be right around 428. And I'd say 427.50 up to 428 is about where you have that happening. And here would be the area of support. And you can see where we got rejected at about that 432 level. We opened up right up there's 432 even. You can see that little peak maybe on the screen. And then from there, just drop. And that's really all we got throughout the rest of the day. And so, like I said, we need to look ahead to next week. We'll look at the what we have for the economic reports coming up to talk about some possible catalysts. In the meantime, let's go to the Qs. We'll recap what happened there, and then we'll move on from there for a game plan going into next week. So here we go with the Qs as we look at this. This was a stronger day. Even momentum-wise, it was a stronger day. We don't have signs of a bullish reversal yet. As I mentioned before, game of retest. We're going to keep on going back and retesting resistance. $372 per share on QQQ is what I'm looking at. And right now that 50-day is actually all the way down to 369. So another level that I talked about is 368. So 368 is right about where we have there. So maybe we get a little bit of strength coming through next week. And I'll talk about where exactly we could see that strength when we talk about those economic reports. For now, just keep these in mind. After we talk about the economic reports, I'm going to come back and tell you about the trades that I made and how they worked out for me. So that's what we got for the Qs. Intradays again look very similar to what we saw in the SPY. We had a nice little pop at the end where we went back and we tried out about $360 per share. As a matter of fact, right here, that high value that we had for that was $359.80. And so we keep on getting rejected on 360. 360 is going to be a critical level to watch if we're going to head in a bullish momentum, in a bullish direction, I should say, for next week. So 360, 364, 368, and that ultimate one that I said about was 372. At this point in time, that would push us up above what we would have in the 50-day. However, the 372 level, if I put my cursor on here and drop it down so we get about to 372, you'll notice it still doesn't overtake these previous peaks that we have. So we'll see where we get rejected on that. And the sooner we get rejected, the worse it is for falling down through the bottom of this trend line. So we're going to have to watch for that should we hit the bottom of this bearish channel that we have going on right now. So let me bring that down and we'll talk about the economic reports. Transition. There we go. So here's today, and I talked about in the morning what we got for the PCE coming in at 0.1. And that was very good for us, being the core number coming in soft. That's what led to that early rally that we got. And then we just sold off from the day following that. Looking ahead to next week, we have manufacturing coming up, and you'll notice previously listed under 50, which is a sign of contraction. Consensus and forecast still coming in at contractionary levels as we look at that. So 50 or higher, that will be good in terms of avoiding recession. But if the Fed sees that we're still sort of expanding in that way rather than contracting, that could be something that could be further cause for further hiking. Not our biggest catalyst. I think a big bullet was dodged with what we saw with the inflation report. The next thing, Tuesday, October 3rd, this is going to be huge. 10 a.m., the JOLTS job openings that we see coming out. So we're going to absolutely want to be watching for that number as it comes out. And for job openings, the softer that number comes in, the better. So if we're below the 8.5 million consensus for those jobs, that is a very, very good things for the markets moving up, not necessarily for us overall. But I will say that as far as the market's concerned, with the Fed tightening concerned, looking for also further credit tightening that we get because of the stress that's on the banks already, and those things compounding these numbers, we want them to come in soft so we can see the Fed starting to cut sooner. And unfortunately, that's probably going to come with a fair amount of pain on its own. We also have JOLTS job quits coming up as well. So that number going up would be honestly upward pressure on the markets to watch that happen too. So we want to watch those two kind of move in towards each other. So into Wednesday, we have a lot more economic reports. There's more from the ISM for services. So we want to be watching that for signs of weakness. Slight weakness could be upward pressure on the markets. If we start to see these really start to move up, where we see even more strength in the economy, especially where services are involved, that can be something that would be downward pressure on the markets as we look at those. And then we also have what we have here could show how much demand we're seeing, how much supply we're seeing, I should say, in terms of oil stocks and everything. And with the prices already going up, a drop in supply is going to be something that is going to not be so much of a help for inflationary purposes. On to Thursday, a huge day for us. We have challenger job cuts. So besides what we had on Tuesday, this is, in my opinion, the next biggest thing that we have, and that's at 7:30 a.m. So watch for that as a catalyst. And watching for these job cuts, the higher we come in, the better for watching those job cuts come out. And again, I'm only talking about the market, not about the people being affected by losing their jobs. That's not a great thing. That's pretty bad, actually. So moving on from there, initial jobless claims. This one, again, it's got to come in soft if we want to see the markets continue to rally. Anything that we see that comes in near these numbers that we previously saw is going to be further downward pressure on the markets. So we want to watch for that. And then on Friday, we have non-farm payrolls. Again, just another area where the lower numbers we get, the more softness we get for non-farm payrolls, the better it's going to be. And then we also get color on the unemployment rate coming up. So we want to be watching that. And I can't stress enough how big this next week is for economic data. And it could be all over the place. There could be a lot of volatility coming up for next week. And I think that we should expect that. And I think that we should be watching for signs of any sort of direction that we get. I went into this weekend with not really too many open positions as far as options are concerned. I closed out 3 of the positions that I had that I took yesterday and took very good profits on those today. And I have those numbers written down for you. And I'll even show you the times that they happen. So the first one I'll take credit for. The second one, I'm going to give the credit away. I'm going to give credit where credit's due to one of my community members who pointed out to my attention, and I'll talk about the circumstances that led to that and the decision that I ended up making. So free stocks from Moomoo, there's a link down in the description. You can click sign up. Moomoo is what you're seeing in this video for my charting, but the mobile app is even better. It's where I do my trades for my options plays. So come on over and join that. Down here are the deposit levels. Each stock that you get, each of the free stocks are valued up to $2,000 a piece, and a free share of Tesla or Google at that $5,000 deposit level. My Patreon is where I post my buys and sells. That's in the Discord that's through that Patreon. And then also NVIDIA stock price prediction, Tesla stock price prediction. Those will both be over there soon. NVIDIA's already up. Tesla's going up very soon. So be on the lookout for that. And then also I have my options course that I'm building out over there. And there are 9 posts, not 8. I need to update this picture that I have here for you, where you can learn how to amplify your portfolio through the power of options. Right now, it is set up for the very beginner, and we're going to start moving on into those applications, into advanced trading strategies as I continue to build that course. So come over for that value that we have. All right, on to the charts. So let's move first to Capital One Financial, COF. So this one, Warren Buffett play, and I was talking about this in a couple previous videos now, and I said from what we had here on Thursday, actually I believe I talked about it Thursday morning. I said this could be a strong play for us, and so far it was. I ended up taking a position early on, a call option position, and then today paid off very handsomely, and I took that. I got the timestamp here for you. At 9:40 a.m. is when I took that. So let's see what 9:40 a.m. looked like. So let me zoom out there, and we'll zoom in back here at the beginning of the day, and the 9:40 is right. Let me double check the timestamp, make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yes, 9:40. 9:40 is right here, and I didn't want to take my chances. Good thing I did, because look what happened next. Look at that next candle. I wouldn't have made nearly as much had I waited just a little bit on that. I figured while this was at the top and while things were starting to slow down, maybe it's time I take that profit. And I had some things that I had to attend to today, which put me late getting back into the markets. So I'm glad that I did. And that one I locked in a 31% profit in pretty much about 24 hours time. So I was very pleased with that, and I was pleased that I could bring it to my Discord and that people could take a look at that, make their considerations, make their own decision, because I can never tell anyone what to buy or sell. And they also were able to capitalize very handsomely on that. So that was a pretty awesome play to do. And this next one, I got to give this away. So this is a play that I've made before, and I've definitely picked out that timing. However, yesterday I had the live stream with Stockmo. I had to pick up my daughters from school, and then I got back, and I'm trying to catch up with everybody in the Discord. And in all that mix, somebody came out and said, it was actually my friend over there, Darren, who came out and said, hey, are you going to set up any calls for the next day? And I was like, oh man, yeah. So I said, as long as I'm not rushed. So when I say that, what I mean is if I feel like I'm rushing into it and I don't give it a full consideration, that's a nice way to lose money. That's not protecting your capital. So it ended up that I had enough time to put in to actually make that consideration, looking at the charts, looking at the technicals. And I was like, all right, well, I'm pretty sure that tomorrow's also going to be a strong day. I guess that I'll jump into this one. So I took a call option position on this one, and it was another one that paid off very handsomely. I did not catch the top on this one. Would have been nice if I did. It would have paid off even better, but I'm still very happy with what I got. I'm very glad that Darren was kind enough to ask about it over in the Discord. And so I was able to make that move and share it out with everybody that I was able to do that. And that, again, going all the way back to his question in the first place, is what allowed everybody to, anybody who took that position, who was alerted to bring their attention to it, that worked out very well for them too. So timestamps on this one. This one I actually sold in two separate lots. So in the first one, let me look at that number there. This one was at 9:38. So 9:38 puts us back here. You can see it wasn't very optimal time. I can tell you that it was one that I was closing out because I didn't want the market to give away the gains that I had. And on that one is a 39% gain from the previous day. So something near the close to near the open. So well under 24 hours time. I don't know, 18, 19 hours time to get 39% of my money back on that was pretty darn good. I'll take that every day. The next one closed at 9:49. So let's fast forward in time. 9:49 was a much better exit on this one, being that I was looking to go in the bullish direction with it. And this one I ended up making 45% of my money. So altogether, what does that net out to be across those three closings that I did? That comes out to 38.4% profit from one day to the next by making those calls, by taking those chances on the market here with the options plays that I had out there. And because of making those options plays and benefiting the way that I have, that's exactly what I mean and why I named my course Portfolios Amplified Options. It's because options have that ability to amplify the gains that you see in your portfolio and push you up beyond what the normal market returns would be, even beyond what you would get from the normal S&P 500 when done well, when done correctly. And I have that course built out there for the absolute beginner. And it's also going to go up through the advanced option strategies that you could also be using in different situations and circumstances that make sure that you stay consistent with your use of those options. Thank you guys for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. If you want to be part of my Patreon and Discord community where you can see my buys and sells and see how I'm capitalizing throughout the market, whether it's down or up, either way, there's profits to be made and we don't want to leave it on the table as long as we can help it. That link for the Patreon's down in the description. Come on over and join us. I'm so humbled to have the community that I do. They are wonderful and passionate people, full of ideas and energy, and they share like nothing else with those ideas and bounce things around and just look for ways that they can also amplify their own portfolio throughout these markets. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Get your stocks from Moo. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.